It's pyrite time, and you know what that means. Let's play Appeal to Truth, an Apollo Justice fan game, which the world needs more of. And my understanding of this is that it's essentially an alternate universe Apollo Justice. Well, obviously, but an alternate universe telling of the first Apollo Justice game. So, an alternate Apollo origin story. There are 2 cases out for it right now. One being Turnabout Dawn, Turnabout on Rails. So, let's start simply enough. Episode 1. See, we got here at the perfect time. Come on, cheer up a little. Here, let me show you what I found. This way. Hold on, hey. Hey, let go. Well, come on then. Alright, I'm coming. Ooh. Look, isn't it just perfect? The weather decided to clear up just in time. Oh, that's pretty. So look at that sky. I didn't know there was a view like this so close by. Ah, I knew you'd love it. I'll go get everything set up for you, okay? Don't worry, I'll be extra careful with the telescope this time. Oh, you really don't have to. Hey, wait up! I can take care of it, really! Alright, let's... No, this is... What's wrong? You shouldn't... Don't come any closer. Beep! That classic troubled theme. All right. Honestly, I think I was kind of looking forward to today. After all the busy work at the office, I'd finally get to actually do something. I'd finally be properly working alongside a respected defense attorney. I really should have known better. Indeed, if you will not repent at once, then... Oh yes, it's coming to me. Great calamity will strike. The stars shall rearrange the path of your future. Avoid the fate laid out by the cosmos. Lay your sacred time at our feet. You'll face the foul consequences. Look, we've already given you a trial. 2-time exemption. It's almost been an hour. Wait, no! No, you surely know what constellation becomes most visible tonight. Do you not know the legends of old? You will condemn yourself to a terrible fate. Please let me recount the mythos behind the stars to you, or... It's really not necessary, ma'am. Well, what would you... How about a reading? Let the sky above paint your future into the cards. You'd believe in that. You'd believe in that more than some sacred mythos, wouldn't you? Hey. Are you alright? It's Sir Apollo. He took my cards. Oh, I see. I'm sorry. I'm usually much better at the whole mystical thing, I swear. It's just under pressure I can try calling again if it makes you feel any better. Or maybe you could just sit down on the couch, calm down a little. We still got time until the trial starts. Sort of. He's left us, hasn't he? Well, can't quite say he wouldn't. That's it then. No attorney, no freedom, no research, no future. It's concrete ceilings and... What do you mean, no attorney? Are you blind? Ah! I mean, just look at him. Hey! Apollo, come on, at least look a little confident. You're letting me down here. I'm just charging you like that. You're gonna give me a heart attack. Look, Andrea. Apollo may not have a trial's worth of experience yet, but he's been studying as a lawyer for months now. He's more than a suitable replacement. I can't think of any up-and-coming defense attorney I'd rather have. This is Clay Tarrant. He's been my closest friend since middle school. When he offered this case to our office, I knew we had to take it no matter what. And now we're already letting both of them down. Andrea Medina, she's a friend of his. I think. She's been working as an astronomer at a small research center. Apparently her workplace has started some sort of partnership with where Clay works. Oh! That's how the two of them met. I forget the name of the star place, the Galaxa or something. Clay, I'm not sure if I can... Come on, Apollo! Don't you think you've been preparing for this You've been preparing for long enough? I'm sure you're more than ready to handle a real case. I don't think I have much of a choice either way. I'm sorry, Sir Clay, but even I don't know what kind of cases are missed by their lead attorneys. And it wasn't missed by your attorney. My deepest apologies, Sir Apollo, but you have yet to truly trod your destined path. Why, even the farthest dwarf planet could recognize that. Oh, come on, not this again. You weren't ditched out on, okay? If there had been any plan to skip out on your case, Apollo wouldn't even be here. Besides, we've got raw talent right here. It's not like he's fresh out of law school. He's been studying for a while now. It's gonna be fine, right, Apollo? What, huh? Fine! Oh yeah, right. He'll be fine! I mean, look, I'll do everything I can. Might only have to last until my boss gets here anyway. Keyword being might. And I'll be testifying today, okay? You can trust me, can't you? Alright, I'll give it a shot. Aw, that's more like it. Oh, well then, Sir Apollo, Sir Clay, the stars hold even the smallest fortune. I give you both our blessing. Oh, thanks. I wasn't finished. Sorry. Being the closest thing to the messenger of the mystic sky, its unknown mysteries, it's... Sir! Ah! Can't delay this trial any further. Please proceed to the courtroom. Right. Alright. I can do this. Don't worry. I'll be right there with you, Apollo. Oh, you... Huh? Me? Aren't you a witness? Should you be in the prosecution's lobby? Oh, yeah, right, of course. I, just wanted to wish the defense good luck and all. Sir, you're not allowed to be in this area. Alright, got it. Leaving now. You've got this, Apollo. You'll be fine, witness. Okay, I'm going. Alright, I guess this is it. Not exactly how I wanted to start my career, but I don't really have a choice at this point, do I? Well, you've got your wish now, Justice. Try to keep the case together, at least. Alright. Court is now in session for the trial of Andrea Medina. Prosecution's ready, Your Honor. The defense is, here, Your Honor. Yes, you certainly took your time. What else would you expect from a rookie attorney like him? Well, I'd really like to start in a timely manner. Especially someone without a law degree even someone without a law degree can do that much. Wait a minute, this isn't my fault. I don't quite see how. I wasn't scheduled to defend today, sir. I mean, Your Honor. Well, now there's nothing to shout about. Calm down. Sorry. Now that I think about it, you were reading a name I knew on the case briefing earlier. I certainly haven't seen you before. Yes, you have, unique qualities I'd have recognized. I'm just gonna ignore that. I was just supposed to be serving as co-counsel today, actually. To tell the truth, I haven't actually been in charge of a case before. This is your first trial, too? Well, that certainly explains a few things. Your name is? Apollo Justice, Your Honor. Very well, Mr. Justice. If you need advice or a moment to think, do ask. Oh. I've been doing this for quite a while, you see. I'd like to think I'm something of an expert. Or some judge. Think of me as your substitute mentor for the time being. As long as it puts you in a good mood, Your Honor. And here I thought I might lose out on the verdict today. Well, well, well. Allow me to extend my thanks. You're welcome. A flawless victory like today's will certainly make me look good. I'll do more than keep my position, yes. It's already bringing me back to my glory days. Oh yes, I remember. Your first few years are really something, Mr. Payne. Weren't you some kind of, baby killer back then? That's awkward. Ah! Your Honor. I'm close, aren't I? Eh? Why, of course you are. Yes, I thought so. Oh, then I think we should get on with today's opening statement. If you would, Mr. Payne. Gladly. 2 days ago, the police received a report of a body found in the trunk of a car. The body was that of our victims, one Mr. Credence O'Ryan's, the employer of the defendant. Oh, or ex-employer, I suppose. He also just so happened to be found in the very car she was riding in. We even found traces of the defendant's fingerprints all over the lab coat he was found in. It's true, we could only find one set of clear prints. As you may know, it's quite difficult to retrieve fingerprints from fabric. Even with recent technology, Your Honor. The fact that we even could find that set, well, I believe it has quite a connection to the rest of the story. A story where forensic traces the crime back to the victim's own research center. Which, may I add, our defendant happened to have been working on earlier that very day. Discovered that she'd pushed the poor man straight off the balcony. His body had fallen straight onto the sundial in the front garden, as seen in this photo here. Alright. And he stuffed the body into the trunk of the car and rode off. Oh, wow. That's interesting. We have a luminol button. The different tint is a luminol button down here. Which toggles between that red view and the normal view. Does that mean that only the spire of the sundial is alight? Oh my, quite a gruesome image indeed. Ah yes, it tends to be in these cases, Your Honor. Luckily for those more lacking in imagination, the evidence can also paint a clear picture. Oh wow. Can't you submit the evidence without trying to insult me? No. Oh, hello. You can see what that referenced. That's still cool, though. Credence O'Ryan, deep stab wounds in the back from a decorative sundial. Large continuous bruise across the back suggests a fall of significant height. Smaller posthumous bruise is likely due to the culprit's handling of the body. Well, I simply expected more of a reaction from the defense, that's all. You do have a motive as well, right, Mr. Payne? Why, yes indeed. You know me too well, Your Honor. Recently, our little defendant got wrapped up in something of a scandal. Just so happened to be in the process of publishing a research paper that was, well, uncannily similar to that of her fellow employees. I think that it was supposed to be quite a bit of research, too. Well, wait a second, I didn't hear anything about this. Although that makes sense, seeing as this wasn't your case until a few minutes ago. Oh, yeah, of course. Now as I was saying. What is it now? Sorry. Probably should have spoken a bit earlier. Just wondering if maybe I could, you know, talk with my clan about this for a moment. Seems kind of important. Maybe I can just yell at her from over there. Please? If you must know, your client denies all plagiarism accusations raised against her. Please, just read about it instead of bothering the whole court with further requests. Oh, okay. Right, sorry. At least someone had given me a heads up about, you know, Clay. Okay, so... we saw that. Super article describing an accusation of plagiarism against my client. Just between her and another employee, she denied all claims. There's Clay, 22, best friend since middle school. One who suggested this case to the law office in the first place. Ooh. Andrea Medina, 23, accused in this case, something of a friend to Clay's. A little odd at times, she doesn't really come off as a murderer to me. Yeah, quite. The judge, age question mark. Our judge. Seems like he's been the judge for an eternity now. And again, I guess I don't have that much experience. Payne is in his 60s? I haven't heard anything about him, yeah. And Credence Orion. 23, the victim and Andrew's employer. Everyone claims he cared a lot about his research center, especially its reputation. Which would be the motive, no doubt. It's having to take on a whole trial on my own. That would have been nice. Ahem. Now, as you can imagine, a scandal like this wouldn't reflect well on the victim's humble little research center. A small research center such as his doesn't have much over its competitors. Except for integrity, of course. Let me ask you this, Mr. Justice. If His Honor discovered that you were using some unlawful tactics during this trial, and came to you threatening to ruin your name and budding career as a lawyer, how would you react? Think carefully about how you phrase your answer, Mr. Justice. Obviously, I wouldn't kill you, Your Honor. May not be the perfect analogy, but I think we all get the idea, don't we? Yeah, I guess it gets the point across. But I think we can agree we've established enough information to move on. The prosecution would like to call its first witness to the stand. Hey, Clay. Witness, your name and occupation. Clay Terran, professional astronaut. In training. Still professional. Mr. Terran, on the day of the accident. Yo, can I just say something real quick? I guess so? You guys need to take it way easier on Apollo. This is his first case, and here you are giving him a hard time for something that isn't even his fault. Our court was supposed to have something called, you know, court etiquette. Why, of course I couldn't agree more with. Don't think I'm on your side just because I'm testifying as your witness. I'm going to tell it just how it was, so don't get upset when Apollo turns it against you. Clay, this might not go over well. I'm not quite sure I like this witness being so friendly with the defense. I suppose calling him to the stand was your choice, Mr. Payne. Well, Your Honor, he just so happened to be the one who first reported the murder. He was driving the defendant out of town so that she could go stargazing, or so she told him. But I think it's plain to see she planned to use his car to smuggle the body away from the scene. How sad to be used so carelessly. Come on, there's no way that's what she was thinking. What type of relationship do you have with the defendant exactly, Mr. Terran? Well, I work at the Cosmos Space Center. We recently started a partnership with Andrea's workplace. Helping out a small research center like this made us look pretty good, you know? Since I'm the junior member at my workplace, sometimes I'm told to go over there and run some favors. So yeah, I ended up getting to know her fairly well. So you're a friend of the defense and the defendants. Well, why don't we hear the testimony before we make any assumptions? Very well. Witness could please testify about what happened before discovering the body. Alright. At the scene. I pulled up at the research center at around 8 o'clock, maybe? Left the trunk unlocked so Andrea could put her stargazing equipment inside, like usual. I was in the building for about 20 minutes before he left. I was ferrying everything to the trunk at first, and yeah, I wasn't keeping too close an eye on her. Later on, she realized she'd lost her research notes as we spent most of the time trying to find them. There's no way she could have had time to kill her boss and hide the body. She's not the murderer. Witness, there's no need to add such a subjective statement to your testimony. I'm not sure that I support the last statement's inclusion. It does raise a good point. Could believe the defendant committing the deed in 20 minutes. That time was cut into by a search with the witness. Oh, please, are we really treating this like some kind of time-consuming ordeal? It'd be easy. While she was off gathering her things, the defendant could have easily pushed the victim off the balcony. Then she could have gone outside, pretending to be preparing to leave. And in reality, she was covering her tracks. Quite no different than me going up to the gallery and pushing someone down, and coming down here and hiding them behind my bench. It'd take no time at all. You're still not convinced? Maybe I can call the defense's aid for a demonstration. Well, that could be entertaining. Excuse me! Your Honor, you're not actually going to let him push me from the gallery, are you? I can catch you if you want. Suppose that would be a little excessive. A little? I thought lawyering was supposed to be a safe job. I doubt it need any more convincing. My reasoning's as solid as it gets. Suppose we do have to let the defense take a crack at it. Very well then, the defense may proceed with its cross-examination. I feel like that's the hard part of planning a case, is making a convincing theory. Planning your case so that you have a convincing theory from the start. Or a theory that sounds plausible enough that the prosecution could run with it. Or else you run into... or else you get Phoenix Wright and Fangames mocking prosecution for presenting bullshit theories with bad evidence. It's like, that's the challenging part of making a compelling fan case. This is alright so far. Okay, my first cross-examination. I can do this. Just Clay, I can trust him to work with me. If I'm ready or not, here comes justice! At the scene. Alright. Maybe. How confident are you about the timing? Kinda confident. It was getting dark, so it sounds about right. Are you sure that's what it was like when you arrived? Oh, come on, you know me. I'm not the type to stress out about the time. You usually do that for me. Oh, yeah. Hey, wait a second! What is his timing? Matches up with the testimony from his co-workers. The prosecution would appreciate it if he could be more exact. Well, then I see no reason to fixate on the matter any further. So like usual, so you've done this before, right? Yeah. Andrea can't drive, and public transport doesn't exactly take you to good stargazing spots. Is there anyone else who would know about this? Well, it's not like the trunk was wide open, it was just unlocked. Trying to find a convenient third party, are we? Yeah, I'd really appreciate a convenient third party if that counts. What exactly were you doing at that time? I was kinda just waiting around in the lobby. Most of the employees had left, so there weren't many people to talk to. The crime occurred just a few minutes after work had gotten out of the center. In other words, perfect time to commit a murder. We're gonna have to wait until night if you want to go stargazing in the first place. Well, yes, but by the same logic, could we please argue over more relevant details here, Mr. Justice? Right, sorry. Why does it have to be my fault? Can't he at least call out the prosecution, too? Do you know what exactly she was bringing with her? She has a telescope she loves to death, but it's so big it needs to be taken apart in multiple pieces. Sometimes she needs to grab her research notes or a few star charts. Oh! I also need folding chairs for the both of us. A shame you weren't courteous enough to help out. You might have caught her in the act. It's not like that. I normally would help out in that kind of situation, but... last time I was kind of running down the stairs, and, well... May had tripped and broken a part of her telescope. When I showed up that day, she was going on about how I'd been cursed with a poor spiritual disposition. Very subtle, I can tell. Well, she was trying, at least. Can you explain the search in a little more detail, please? Well, Andrea came around, and Came and found me a little while after I'd arrived, looking kind of panicked. We searched the whole place together to try and find her notes, but he came up empty-handed. Like I said, I was with her the whole time. There's no way she could have been covering up a murder. And did you notice anything suspicious at all? No, not really. You had a bit of a panic, so I wasn't really paying much attention to small details. Sorry, Apollo. There's no need to apologize for simply telling the truth. Don't let the defense guilt you into making up convenient details. You'll be playing right into his hands. Come on, everyone can tell you're just saying what if it makes it sound better. What? Not at all. I'm a very talented law-abiding prosecutor. Make sure you put that down on the record, please. Make sure to put his last statement down, too, while you're at it. Gah! Made that way too easy. And you, testify to the defendant's character, maybe? Of course. The defense really trying to substantiate the witness's baseless claim. Your Honor. What is it? Look, Your Honor, the defense and the witness are in cahoots. Cahoots! It's a technical legal term. They're trying to undermine my case. Now, it's not that much of a problem. You prosecutors do that sort of thing all the time, don't you? Ooh. Your Honor! That's all of it. I know Clay isn't lying, but one of these statements has to be faulty. Otherwise my chances are going to get even slimmer. Just the beginning. Can't afford to slip up now. Eight to 8:10. Oh, I didn't even check this. Yeah, that sure is a lab coat. What is that on the top of the trunk lid? Let's review this again. I feel like she would have gotten blood all over her, too. This is bad. We've already just started out. I'm already stumped. So I think the point we have to deal with here is this. I think the idea we're going to bring up is what happened to the rest of her stuff. So I don't know if it's necessarily wrong, but... Objection! Your Honor. Oh, did you find a contradiction, Mr. Justice? Yeah? Well, you see, when you find a contradiction, you know what to do, Your Honor. Oh. Please, try not to be too disappointed. Well, it's just that you hesitated for a moment. Only because this is my first time. Well, there goes what little pride I had coming into this. The court, look at this photo. Please. Clay, the witness claims that Andrea was packing equipment into the trunk of the car, right? Then why isn't it in this photo? The answer is beyond obvious. The defendant had to make room for the body. Well, yeah, but, where would she have hid the equipment then? Wait a second, I think I can actually get somewhere with this. There's no way the defendant would have had time to take anything off the scene entirely. And Clay was in the lobby. Maybe he wasn't paying that much attention. I should have noticed if she'd brought near everything back inside. Well, she could have simply hid them somewhere outside. That's a clever contradiction. You're sort of thinking, you had to think outside the box from, oh, he's lying. If that was the case, then surely they would have been found during your investigation, or am I wrong? Ah! Alright, we're getting somewhere. Just keep it up. Clay, was there anyone else in the building while you were waiting? Anyone at all? Yeah, the last few employees were still leaving. I even saw a few go by. Wait, please, let's not start anything crazy. Your Honor, remember what we established before the testimony about the witness being biased? Oh yes, I seem to remember something like that. Vince's contradiction is completely reliant on the witness. Namely the fact that he allegedly didn't see the defendant return inside with her belongings. Oh. Are you trying to suggest Clay is lying to the court, Mr. Payne? It's quite possible his mind would slip on a few details. Didn't we all hear him say things like, I wasn't keeping too close an eye on her, and even, she's not the murderer? I was just getting a little enthusiastic, that's all. The prosecution does make a good point. Yes, unfortunately. I'm not sure that defense should be able to found a case on his friend's testimony alone. Exactly. At the same time, we can't completely ignore his claim either. It is his first contradiction after all. Gold star for you, Apollo. Yes, that would be just demoralizing. Of course, Your Honor. Does he really believe what I'm trying to say here, or is he just pitying me? Taking this into account, I would like to hear more of the prosecution's argument. Preferably not from this witness, if possible. So I'm done testifying? Yes, I'd say so. Nice! Make some room, Apollo. What? Hey! Oh, nice, I like that. Hey, wait a second. Defense will refrain from allowing witnesses to leap over their bench. Well, from now on, please. Well, he is the prosecution's witness, Your Honor. Oh, that is very true. Prosecution will refrain from allowing their witnesses to leap over the defense's bench from now on. How is this my fault? Well then, I'm assuming you have no more objections, Apollo. I mean, a little more warning would have been nice, but as long as we're in the clear, no objections here. Just having him here is probably going to be more help than I'd like to admit. Are we all settled down now? I think so, Your Honor. Well then, the prosecution would like to call its next witness. Very well, go right ahead. Oh? Witness, your name and occupation. Please. Hold on, I'm not ready just yet. That book he's reading can't be that important, can it? Oh no. Title of acquit my upon birth. My upon my birth is that of one Mr. Edwin Sharp. As of late, I've commissioned myself to the pursuit of intellectualism. Oh no. More specifically, I've enjoined my knowledge to the service of Mr. Credence Orion. Dedicating myself to the field of astronomy as I continue my pursuance of my own intellectual... Apotheosis. Yes. You're what now? Apotheosis, apex, acme, pinnacle. This isn't real. This is all just a bad dream. Apollo, he's only just taken the stand. I don't want to decode anything else. No. Please, no. About a few of the other things you just said. Individuals such as yourself will never reach their own personal, zenith. They provoke solutions from their peers, Your Honor. Oh, that's, very wise of you. Ah, yes, thank you. Thank you very much. You must be quite wise yourself to recognize my talents. As we can all see, our witness is a man of great intellectual pursuits, so, Let's just make this as quick as possible. Please. Seconded. Edmund Sharp, huh? What is it? I'm sure I've heard Andrea talking about this guy before. Well, they are co-workers. Uh-oh. Is he the plagiarist? I'm calling it right now. He's the plagiarist. I was gonna say, it's kinda got a simple... He's got a similar, BS loquaciousness to the fucking detective from Assistant's Turnabout, but it's infinitely more... It's got infinite more charm than that not fuzz. And well, he's pretty unforgettable already. Yeah. Oh, you've heard of me, have you? Yeah? You perhaps read any of my published work? Like perhaps Meditation of the Lifetimes of Distant Stars and Their Impacts on Our Solar System. Sharp, Victor, 2020, 2024. Maybe even, Proposal for the Improvement of Astronomical Spectroscopy. Using Techniques from Electron Microscopy. Sharp, Herring, Orion, et al., 2026. No, I don't think I have. Oh. Well, I just so happen to have copies right here. I know science is oft out of the purview of the layman, but please, do read, do read. Oh, thank you. Do share. Share your enlightenment when you are done, good people of the court. I'll, consider it. Good, good. I'm just gonna quietly put these aside right here. Still, I swear I know that guy from something. Hey, wait. Can I see your evidence for a second? Sure, go ahead. No, not you. Not you either. Aha, I thought so. The newspaper article. Ah, quite erudite of you, Mr. Tarrant. Yes, I am muddled in the affairs of that scandal your papery so outlines. More specifically, it was my fine research your client tried to imitate. Not that I can't understand her motive. My, astrological scrutinizations are quite fine. To purloin from those already wallowing in obscurity. To abuse such cruel fortune. Very debauched. Well, at least I've got a bit of a better grasp on the plagiarism situation. I'm not sure if it was worth it, though. Mr. Payne, will you please move on to the testimony? Right. Mr. Sharp just so happened to be one of the last employees to leave that day. Yes, as one would expect from one of my disposition, I am the type to... Why are you interrupting me? Oh, oops. A totally mistake on my part. Hey, why don't we just move on from this bit and let the prosecution finish what he was saying? Yes! Yes! I was going to ask you, witness. Why don't you tell everyone what happened as you were leaving work that day? Very well, then. If you're all so eager, who am I to decline? What happened that day? Considering I was near vacating my vocation, we can surmise that it was thereabouts 8 o'clock p.m. I inhabited the topmost level of our facility when I overheard unpalatable discourse from the balcony. Merely assumed my coworker was facing denouement for recent malfeasance at the time. As I was devising my leave, I descried Andrea hastening down the stairwell. On reflection, she did slam down the trunk of that car rather quickly as I ingressed into the front garden. I fear I simply considered her livid in the moment. I was too much a genteel to assume her true crime. Alright. I think I understand the general idea of what he's trying to say. Or I hope I do, at least. Just be clear. You said you saw her slam down the car's trunk from the research center's entrance, right? Essentially, yes, I did say so. So... Where exactly is the parking lot relative to where you were? Did anyone mention that? Ah, I see the problem. Yeah, this should make it clear enough that the witness's account is indeed possible. As you can discern, my testimony should more than suffice the prosecution's, Oh, simple enough. Prosecution's peroration. Peroration. Of course. I'm sure you can see now, Your Honor. I nearly did it like a Your Honor, Mr. Justice, and just called him Your Mister. Yes, exactly. That's precisely what I intended. Provided motive, decisive evidence, and multiple witness testimonies. I'm not an outstandingly qualified prosecutor. I don't know who is. Why, yes, you have been quite a bit more thorough than usual. Well then, if you've been so thorough, I don't think you'd mind a cross-examination, wouldn't you? Yeah? Why, of course I wouldn't. Cross-examine away. There's nothing wrong here. You want something, Apollo? We've got to get somewhere. Don't panic. Just go after him. Besides, I bet the judge is already super confused, so you just need to sound confident. Not so loud, please. What are you shouting about over there, Mr. Justice? Well, we're just getting ready and really amped up about this cross-examination, that's all. Oh, don't leave me out. I want to get amped up, too. Let the judge get amped up. Please. On it, Your Honor. What happened that day? You say that you were about to leave work. It was 8 in the evening. Right? Yes. Well done. Well done. Why does he have to look so pleased? Just to be clear, this all happened over the course of a few minutes, correct? Why, most certainly. I'm not the type to squander my future opportunities when departing from my vocation. There are several technical efficiencies that can be employed for the welfare of your future. Although it requires that you take some time in the past. Of course, I took some time to ready my workspace for the works of tomorrow. Oh, I see. I'm, sorry for assuming so little of you. Ah, not a problem. It's a quality atypical of most my age. I assure you my tendencies are above others of my ilk. They are possessed by seldom, other few. You've got that right. What exactly did you overhear? Overhear only by chance, you mean? As I have raised... no. As I am a well-brought-up gentleman. Unfortunately, human ears are not infallible. I could make out only basic auditory sensation, but nothing more. Though what I could amass logically followed. Hitherto events. I could perceive the nature of both voices with some ease. They were the victims of the defendants. For the tone of the conversation, it was less than congenial. And you were confident the voices came from the balcony. Of course. It's the only pragmatic conclusion. Nobody inhabited my immediate surroundings, and the lights had been vanquished in all other rooms. I am usually one of the last ones to leave work, you see. I am quite invested in my personal pursuit of knowledge. If you say so. Yes, denouement. You mean you thought she was getting fired? Yes, very good. There's no need to put it so basely. You simply won't afford any respect to your personage if you can't demonstrate your intelligence. Don't I get any points for piecing your nonsense together? Do you suppose you can claim as such? But yes, it seems only natural that Mr. Orion would dispatch her of her appointment after such a scandal. Well, that's all I assumed was happening at the time. Nothing wrong with that, is there? Why, of course not. So you think this was just after she committed the crime? Yes, she must have just done the deed. On reflection, something was certainly wrong with her. Psychology. Psychology? Well, yes, you would assume something of that sort if something had committed a murder. Right. She was running downstairs, so she could be the first to get to the body, after all. Hardly a normal thought. Oh yes, and there was something about her physiognomy, which was equally unsettling as well. Really subtle, guys, really subtle. Now I'm interested. Oh. Physiognomy. A person's facial features or expression. Especially when regarded as indicative of character. And the art of judging character from facial characteristics. Hey. Before you heard about the murder, the only thing that seemed strange that day was her behavior. Why, yes, but that doesn't make my account worthless. If I may get philosophical for a moment. No, you may not. No, please? Suspect such as a murderer is a truly twisted... Alright, I think we've punished the defense enough today. Let's move on. What? About to... It's alright, Mr. Sharp. We just believe that such a fine speech deserves to be, its own occasion. It is clearly going to be, quite a lot to take in. Very well, then. A genteel. Really. Is something wrong with that? It simply didn't cross my mind that someone I knew would commit murder. Such optimism is so stunning to you, Mr. Justice. Well, I suppose that's normal enough. Actually, sure, let's just leave it there. So, how much longer do we have to listen to this guy talk? I mean, half of what he says is just him showing off how he can read a book anyway. You don't have to tell me that. If you really want, I could go try to find a thesaurus for you, too. Would that help? Not really? Why don't you just stay here so I don't feel like I'm suffering alone? Can do. We just got this. How will that help us? Oh, there is no top floor. Okay. Oh, wait, I'm wrong. Honor, take a look at this piece of evidence. Alright, I'm looking at it. Am I missing something? Nothing at all, Your Honor. I think the defense is trying to mock the heart of sight. Wait a second, that's not it at all. I'll make sure this penalty is perfectly visible to all of us, Mr. Justice. Thanks for trusting me, Your Honor. Okay, this is a bit more challenging then. Also a point of contention. Reading the notes on this, the defendant's fingerprints are in blue. So clearly what they're getting across here is that at some point Andrea was kind of grabbed him by the front of the jacket, which could have been just a pleading thing. I think I have the right idea, but wrong place. Let's present the Research Center photo here instead. Yeah, because I was trying to think that it might have been... for some reason I took his second statement to mean that he was on the top floor, above the balcony. So that was a mistake, but... this might be... like, the dude was killed there, so... in theory, if he left at that time, he should have noticed it. There we go. So nothing else caught your eye when you were leaving the building? Nothing at all? No? Really? Didn't you say you saw her slam down the trunk just as you left? Someone like yourself should be able to put together what that implies. Am I wrong, Mr. Sharp? Well, she'd have to have been just then hiding the body. If that's the case, I'm pretty sure there's something else you should have noticed. Yeah. What's wrong? Do you need this picture to help you? Don't you see those luminol markings there, Mr. Sharp? Mark exactly where the sundial was covered in blood. Tell me, why did you testify about seeing blood everywhere? Well, reason, the blood, reason is beyond obvious. Venom had already cleaned up the bloodstains by the time she was leaving. How would she have managed that, Mr. Payne? Well, just look at the photo. You noticed the pool of water around the sundial? It's part of the irrigation system for the shrubs out front. Plus, each of the employees has assigned a lab coat to wear exclusively during work hours. If she hadn't left work yet, she could have used that to clean off the sundial. Mr. Sharp implied she was stuffing the body into the trunk as he left, and the way she could have cleaned off the sundial first. If she'd taken the body off it and put it down somewhere. I don't see any other bloodstains anywhere on the scene. She ordered to put the victim down in the water. A luminol test couldn't possibly produce results that way. Tell me then, Mr. Payne, did the police happen to find a drenched body in the trunk of that car? Not bad, Paul. Wow, you're really going after him. Is it too much? Not at all, that was awesome. You've got this. Witness, it's beyond obvious that you should have seen blood at the crime scene. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I made a terrible, terrible mistake on my part. Is that so? The truth is, I did see the blood. If you saw the blood, then why didn't you report the murder to the police? Why would you give false testimony? Please, want to explain. Let me explain. Truth is, when I exited the building, I heard, an exclamation above me. My, natural yearning for knowledge compelled me to try and get a view of the action. I saw Andrea place both her hands on Mr. Orion's chest and push him over the balcony's railing. The thing is, she glanced down into the front garden after it happened. Don't know if she saw me or not, but at the time I was convinced. Ran home in fear, as fast as I could. It wasn't until I mustered up the courage to call in as a less vital witness. Yeah. You don't look too well, Mr. Payne. Is it too much to assume you have suspicions regarding this testimony? But what? No, of course not. After all, we did get a call from this witness a few hours after Mr. Tarrant's initial report. Objection! How does the prosecutor explain its witness's previous testimony, then? Well, you see, my witness clearly values his, professional image. To admit to such cowardice would be, well, quite demeaning of his character, right, witness? Yes, I'm afraid my last testimony was a farce in part. In part? What in whole? Yes, I guess. You see, it would be reprehensible not to aid society. I had to help distribute due justice. I was under social obligation to testify. However, I, like most humans, am a prideful being. I would have liked to avoid admitting to the shape of my, flight. A stoic like me fleeing at the sight of murder. hiding in my home, not reporting what I'd seen until well after, ignoring my duty to justice. Afraid I capitulated to an unnatural emotional response at the time. You see, Your Honor, people like the two of us don't like admitting to a cowardice. The whole five of us, I dare say. It is true I've seen several peculiar reasons for a witness to lie in my time as a judge. You've really gotten down to the truth of the matter, well. For your sake, Mr. Sharp, you'd best hope your testimony can hold up to scrutiny. Of course it will. Very well then, defense, you may begin your cross-examination. Alright. I think at this point, we're going to call this a video. I've got a pretty good idea of where this is heading. And we gotta be close to the end of this case, I would imagine. We are very much just going to listen to the overblown intellectual turns pages ASMR. Listen to his big brain growing centimeter by centimeter. Oh, you're so big-brained. No, I do like this so far. I'm enjoying this. Got a little charming cast already. It's fun. Curious to see where this goes. I know where this case is going to go. It's coming to a rather obvious end, being in case 1 and all. But alas, until next time. Until then.